Hello everyone and welcome back to the BIA racing series, where today we are at the third race of 12 taking place on the Nodeoline in the east coast of the United States of America. This track may be short, but the danger is paramount, with many car-destroying trackside objects, high speeds, and the track itself wants to damage your car with areas such as the slam. Not only that, but many rumours swirl about this track being haunted by mysterious forces from long ago during this dangerous track's creation. The drivers will have to deal with all this under limited light conditions, with this race marking the first of 3 night races for the season, and the temperature tonight is a rather moderate 23 degrees Celsius. There are quite a few changes with the cars today, as quite a few part swaps have been made available. From now on, drivers may use fog lights on their cars for dark races, such as this one. And strengthening of the front bumper has been made available, with the optional addition of a better support for the bumper. A few livery changes have taken place as well. Customize has abandoned his partnership with JB Hi-Fi and is now wearing the Curtis Myers PB Tech white, orange and blue livery. Brock and Blazin have entered a partnership forming Will Rock Racing, where both drivers now wear a dark blue and black livery. Blazin's variation sticks to just black and dark blue, while Brock has light blue highlights. The final change is that Jace has now adopted a teal, pink and purple livery, and has finally ditched the low front bumper that caused him many issues on the Utah belt. Now onto the starting positions. For the first time in the BIA, all drivers managed to set a qualifying time. In 5th is Jace with a time of 1 minute and 20.648 seconds. 4th is Brock with a time of 1 minute and 0.76 seconds. And as a potential pole runner for Nodeoline, showing great promise, holding a lap record on this track, this result was disappointing for him. 3rd is Blazin with 1 minute and 15.060 seconds. 2nd is Customized with 1 minute and 14.628 seconds. And for the 3rd time in a row, Paulie has achieved pole position with a time of 1 minute and 14.132 seconds, keeping his pole streak unbroken. Finally, let's get this race underway. It is time for the Nodeoline. Will Rock needs to prove that their partnership is viable. Polly needs to fend off Customizer's excellent launches. Jace is seeking to prove himself. It is anyone's game. And away they go. Excellent launch from Brock into P3 on Blaze, and Customizer's had a fantastic launch on Polly. They're side by side into turn 1. Customize, he pulls out. Polly goes forward. Blaze sees an opportunity, lunges forward to the inside. Oh my god, that was so close. That might have been a collision, but I'm not sure. Either way, the back 3 are now coming into the corner here. Brock slid out on 2 wheels. Jace looking for a way through. Jace gets through into P3. Now Blazin needs to find a way through. He's accidentally tapped his teammate, but it looks like they're alright. Blazin now into P4. Polly and Customize now coming through the slam at ridiculously high speeds.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to box.
It has been absolute chaos in the back of the grid, and this is absolutely not what the new team at Will Rock are wanting to hear, with both of their drivers having fell down a position and one needing to box on their very first lap for repairs. Polly and Customize have already built a gap from the rest. Now they're coming down to the double bridge where there's a sharp right-hander. Customize loses control, hits one of the barriers on the bridge. That is going to immediately have an effect on his pace as he chases Polly, and one side of his car has just lost lighting due to the crash, and he may have steering damage. Now on Blazin, having passed the recent fiasco, will be wanting to make up time on Jace as soon as possible to reclaim P3. What's happened here? Jason slows to a crawl on the bridge. What was that? What in God's name has just taken place? Jace has just disappeared. What? Jace, in reality, is much further down the track from what Blazin just saw. Was that really Jace, or was that something else entirely? Lap 1 is coming to a close. Paulie has defended his first place position, with Customized roughly 2.5 seconds behind in P2, and due to the chaos behind, leaves a sizable gap from Jace in P3, who has jumped up 2 positions after seizing impressive opportunities. Blazin remains behind in 4th, likely shaken from the ghostly sighting, and Brock is a distant 20 seconds behind and will be boxing at the end of his first lap. Now we get the replay of the race start where Customize impresses once again with a brilliant launch on Polly, but with a compromised line into turn 1 with Polly on the outside, had to back off, losing a lot of speed, allowing Polly to spring forward at optimal speeds for the next corner. In slow motion, we get to see what happened between Brock and Blazin. Brock following the optimal line but can't go much faster with Customize in front, allowing Blazin to launch up the inside in a very aggressive move, and they barely escape a collision through that corner. Then into the next corner, Brock brakes too hard, locks his rears up into a slide where he strikes the curb and his bumper shears off, sending him onto 2 wheels, where the bumper thing gets stuck underneath the car, and Jace bravely goes for this bold overtake, just narrowly avoiding a collision. However, it pays off for him. And this is what Blazin saw. Brock has the better run and Jace is alongside him to the left, but with the others to his side and in front, he realizes his line is compromised. Jace on the right, Brock in the middle. Blazin has to go on the outside to the left. However, with Brock braking suddenly, he lunges for that inside gap too soon, leading to the contact that happened there between him and Brock. Finally, we have the replay in full speed of what has to be the strangest thing I've ever seen on track. Already heading down to the slam, Jace's car exhibits movement in violation of the laws of physics, and then suddenly crawls to a halt on the double bridge with Blazin just behind, before the apparition suddenly teleports away out of sight. The double bridge is notoriously dangerous for the sudden drop from high to low speeds into a sharp right-hander, combined with the unstable surface of the bridges themselves, which can unsettle cars badly, as seen with Customize just before. One must wonder if this was a ghostly attempt to make Blazin crash. Here we are with Blazin chasing Jason to the slam, and ooh, that's a rough impact. Doesn't seem like the bumper is dragging the ground, and both fog lights of his are now out. If that bumper is damaged further, it could cause a lot of problems. We cut to Brock having just come out of the pits with repairs, and oh, he's made the same mistake he did on the first lap, but this time he has narrowly avoided that curb. As the leaders head into lap 3, Customize has gotten that gap down by just over half a second and sets a lap faster than Polly. Brock, still on lap 2, has just gone through the slam, and he's coming down to the double bridge now. And oh, his brakes have locked up. That's a big impact to the side of the bridge. Seems to have affected the middle of the car, so hopefully Brock can walk away from this one with no steering or suspension damage. But that was a ridiculously close one. Jace coming through the slam now with Blazin just behind. His bumper is sheared off and is dragging underneath the car. Here comes Blazin. Oh my god, the same thing has happened to him. His already damaged bumper is now also scraping along the road underneath the front of the car. Oh, what? Boxer. Got a bumper shear.
Have you gone slower or are you chilling?
No, I'm actually chilling in terms of speed, but I don't want to risk it with a bumper that's sheared under me right now.
Okay.
Blazin has chosen to make a pit stop over the incident for a bumper replacement, which makes sense, as if this condition gets worse, he could find himself with steering and suspension issues if the bumper damages the underside of the car or gets stuck anywhere else. It must be disheartening for the team at Will Rock to have their cars boxing this early into the race, being so far behind the leaders. Customize continues to chase Polly with determination, and Polly, his bumper's come undone at the slam as well.
Oh, clutch issue on what the f***? The clutch fully engaged in slam. That's never happened.
Despite the new bumper supports, the harsh conditions of this track is still a detrimental challenge on the drivers and their cars. It seems Polly, like Jason in front of Blazin, despite the bumper damage, will not be committing to pit stops right away for an immediate fix of the damage. This especially makes sense for Polly, with Customize still not too far behind, and even with this situation, Polly has set a new fastest time in the 1:14 range. Truly incredible. That will be hard to beat during this race. The bottom 3 are still on their 4th lap, and despite Blazin having boxed, Brock still has quite a bit of catching up to do and is currently 20 seconds behind him. And oh my god, his bumper's come off over the bridges and it's back on the car. What? Oh my goodness, that is very strange. How's that happened? Something strange is happening here. Jace appears to have crashed, but there are no yellow flags. Blazin gets past, but what's this? Jace has taken flight, and he slammed into the back of Blazin. That is a massive crash in what must have been another spiritual incident on the Nodeoline. Jace is gone without a trace. No one knows what is happening, and as such, no yellow flags are out. But the troubles are not yet over, as Brock is rapidly approaching on Blazin, who was crawling around the track. He narrowly gets past. He has avoided disaster with no knowledge of the incident.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were there, bro. Say yellow flag.
Brock, now in P4, nearly hits the curb on turn 1, and by an utterly miraculous case of good luck, Blazin has somehow managed to make it back to the pits for urgent repairs, just narrowly escaping the second attempt on his life tonight. Here we get a replay to explain the unexplainable. The apparition gets Blazin's guard down. It launches its attack with a massive high velocity slam into Blazin's rear. And just like that, the ghostly car vanishes and flees the scene, leaving Blazin in utter disbelief and shock. It could have been much worse too, with Blazin's front right axle having completely snapped. He slows to a crawl with only a single wheel able to propel him forwards. And with that, Brock, rapidly approaching, is only barely able to find that gap between Blazin and a trackside rocks. By this point, the leaders are not far behind at all, and Customize suffers a bumper shred on the double bridge. No one is safe in this race. The gap from Customize to Polly is roughly 3.5 seconds now, approaching the slam. Customize's bumper looking very loose, and there it goes. At least he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. And meanwhile, Jace, completely unaware that his guise has been used in ghostly attacks, completes a mandatory stop, utilizing the 20-second gap to Brock. And oh my god, Customize makes contact with the double bridge as he exits. It seems to have been a light graze, and he seems to be alright. Brock passes through the slam, still on his 6th lap. It's not looking good for his teammate Blazin, who is behind in 5th, with Polly only about 10 seconds behind, proposing a risk of being lapped. And Brock heads down to the double bridge, and it seems that his bumper has finally given way after soldiering on through these last few laps. It has been back and forth between Customize and Polly over pace gain and pace loss. Customize's car is looking to be in a sorry state, but so far he has been holding it together. Here comes the double bridge, and oh my goodness, that has seemed to have been very rough there.
I'm boxing now.
That simple message conveys the fact that Customize is not happy with the state of his car and will be boxing. This could later lead to an undercut on Polly.
And I no light.
But Polly clearly is not having it, and to prevent the undercut will be boxing just in front of Customize, which will also double as a good time to fix up his bumper, and this hopefully spares some stress from Blazin over being lapped by the leaders. Jay still on lap 7, just over 30 seconds behind Customize, and yikes! That is a big impact with some of the trackside rocks there. Jace now coming into lap 8, and his bumper has come up, likely originating from the impact with the trackside rocks earlier. This track is really giving these cars a beating today, and safety and future longevity with the BIA will be getting called into question when it's all said and done. Brock, about to finish his 7th lap, has been progressively getting the gap down between him and Jace. Here he comes, and oh my god, he's gone wide, and he struck the guardrail on the final corner. Brock has just begun his 8th lap, and he struck the curb going into turn 2, and he's now coming down the small straight section where it's all gone wrong before, and yet again he slides through turn 3. He just can't seem to get this town sector to go the way he wants, which gives up valuable time to Blazin. Brock, finishing his 8th lap, will be pitting to fix the damage that has been building up from various mistakes. This will mean both Will Rock drivers will have pitted twice, only 10 minutes into this race, and he's coming into the box now, and oh, he can't keep it together. He slid into the pits. He's hit the pit, but luckily he can repair right away. But here comes Blazin. Can he make it out of time? He gets out of time, but Blazin now closer than ever. Brock will have to stop making these numerous mistakes if he wants to stay ahead. Blazin on his 9th lap, trying to chase down Brock, comes over the slam, and yet again his bumper has received a heavy hit. I believe my bumper just broke again, but it's not come off. I'm gonna keep it going right now because it hasn't come off, but I know it's damaged. It really has not been a lucky night for the team at Will Rock thus far, and other drivers are also expressing worries over the conditions.
Oh my god.
I'm driving so slow now because this track is so sketch.
Brock trying his hardest to stay ahead of Blazin, both still on the 10th lap. Brock through the slam now. He's off track and he nearly hits nearby rocks. Blazin adamantly falling behind as Brock heads down towards the bridge. It's building up to a battle over last place. Here comes Brock, and it's rough. He's grazed the side of the bridge. He slides and he recovers. He seems to be okay, but Blazin coming through any moment now, and he's not okay. His bumper has been wedged under the car while going over the bridges. I'm gonna have to box. Bumpers come up. Blazin, wanting to operate on caution, has ordered a 3rd stop, and it's only his 10th lap. The leaders behind him aren't too far off in their 11th. This is good for Brock's position, but this will be putting Blazin at a detrimental risk of getting lapped. Customize is coming down to the double bridges now, and just earlier had struck a curb within the town. And wow, that's rough, and just like Brock, he has slid through the corner.
Race engineer, noticeable steering damage.
I'm getting close-ish to lapping Blazin. I'm getting close to Blazin.
He's getting close indeed. There's Blazin headed into the pits to fix that bumper damage, and Polly is able to pass through and lap Blazin with no trouble to be had for either of them. It seems to be a slow stop, and he might have to worry about customers coming through, but at the moment he's nowhere to be seen, and finally out comes Blazin. Due to Blazin's current situation of incredibly horrid luck, if he wants a chance to win this race, he will have to rely on a red flag restart. He is customized, and oh my god, his lights have gone out. He's going to need to box immediately. He can't see a thing. He brakes, but he's missed the pit entry.
Oh my goodness! Race engineer, big mistake. I've missed the pit entry. I have to do another lap.
That is terrible for Customized. It is going to be incredibly dangerous to drive almost solely on memory on a track as dangerous as this. Jace has stunned everyone with his early move in a P3, and he still holds on to it. He is about to cross the line into his 12th lap. He's coming around turn 1. It seems to be too fast. He's on the curb, and he's hit the bin. The residents will not be happy. It seems Jace has been able to reverse out of it. However, he will be continuing throughout this lap into a pit stop due to the damage.
Boxing this lap.
Meanwhile, we're having Brock come through, just about to enter his 12th lap, and he's hit a dirt mound and briefly gone airborne, but he's managed to keep it together. But it definitely would have damaged his car, and as you can tell, it definitely did rip up that bumper.
I just hit a giant rock.
Customized on the end of his 12th lap, still in darkness, aiming for the pick box again, and this time he's able to make it work despite the difficulty. But oh no, it seems they haven't been able to get the lights working again. So Customized, already quite a ways behind Polly over these issues, will have to continue as is and hope that his lights are able to function again sometime soon. Customized now coming up to the slam at ludicrous speeds, and with a flicker his headlights are back, but it seems that his fog lights are not yet cooperating. However, this is definitely better than nothing. With Jace's previous incident, Brock has been chasing down that gap, and with Jace having the box, he'll close up the gap even further, but the story won't be that simple, as Brock too needs to box from going airborne on his previous lap. Here he comes now through the final corner, gets a little bit shaky through here, looks like he's going wide, he's hit the guardrail there. It's time for him to box just as Jace is heading out, and now Polly will soon be approaching on the way to lap these two. But that will slow down Polly, and Blazin behind might be able to use it as a chance to unlap himself or to catch up to Brock and Jace. The looming threat of Polly is starting to dawn on Brock as they head up to the slam, and Brock's car exhibits abnormal behavior through there. Maybe a spiritual force was trying to make Brock roll over with the added pressure of Polly behind him.
I see his lights.
Brock on the end of his 13th lap, Polly on the end of his 14th is chasing down Brock and will be attempting to lap him very soon. This will be very beneficial for everyone but Polly and Brock. It holds off Brock from Jace and Polly from lapping Jace. It allows Blazin to get closer to Polly, but more importantly Brock, and it allows Customized to gain some time on Polly as well. Anyway, here we go, things are happening, it's contact! Polly into the back of Brock, he's along the inside! Brock cuts him off! Brock is all over the place, up on the curb, Polly has to swerve to avoid. Polly and Brock keep it together. Polly on the tail of Brock, he has the better run, but he holds off a bit. It is unwise to attempt an overtake on Slam. There's Blazin. He is gaining the time on the both of them. It seems that for now, Brock has held Polly off, and Polly will have to wait for another opportunity. The next opportunity for Polly is coming. Blazin isn't too far off behind. It looks like the move might happen here. Polly with the better braking lunges up the inside. Brock gives him the space. Polly gets the move done, and he has now lapped Brock. Blazin has gained a lot of time on Brock. Both him and Polly are just up ahead. Coming to the slam now. His bumper has broken yet again. This time it doesn't seem to have awkwardly wedged itself under the car, but it's been dented in such a way that it is constantly making direct contact with the track surface. I hear bumper scraping. I'm boxing again because I hear my bumper scraping, constantly scraping. I mean, my handling's similar, but I don't want to risk it. Blazin will be pitting for the 4th time in just the first third of this race to err on the side of caution once again. But these choices have ended up costing him in this race, whereas other drivers have seemed to go alright with pushing through the damage of bumper issues. Here Blazin comes to box again, coming off the success of Utah. This has been a devastatingly disappointing race for him thus far, where every time he started to make gains, he's been stopped in his tracks by issues with very poor bumper reliability. And there goes Customized, becoming the second person to lap Blazin. Paulie is now out to lap Jace as they come into the slam, and yet again we have severe bumper damage, and it seems to have happened to Paulie back there too. This has been happening so often, I'm not even surprised anymore. This track just clearly isn't suited for the racing of these cars. They're into the double bridge now. It seems that Jace has plunged deep into the corner, and Paulie sneaks up the inside, but here's Brock, and it's another bumper disaster as his flies off through the double bridge.
I've lapped everyone except Customize now.
Jace will be making the pit stop due to the damage. It will allow Brock the easy overtake on Jace in the top 3, which he has been fighting for all race so far. Jace enters the pits now. He strikes the curb, goes on 2 wheels, but it's alright, they've got it repaired. He's going to head out now in the 4th place. He's hit the curb again on the pit exit. Customize comes through to easily lap Jace, but Jace is coming out too early. Blaze is right there. What the heck is going on? Jace, in his panic, has gone into the curb again. That was unbelievably chaotic. Jace strikes the curb into turn 1 as well. It has all gone just so wrong. He's coming around turn 2 now, and it looks like the wheels come off. The red flags will surely be coming soon once they confirm the situation. We've gone from potential podium glory for Jace to a 5th place DNF in just a matter of minutes. The red flag hasn't been called just yet, and here's Customize heading into the double bridge now, and his bumper has been wedged up under the car from a rough run through the double bridge. Probably about the 20th time that has happened this race, but he might not have to worry about it for too much longer. Paulie will soon be crossing into his 19th lap. We are waiting a while on this red flag confirmation, but it is inevitable. The restart could change everything, with the grid being bunched closer together again, with both Blazin and Brock becoming unlapped. As Paulie heads around turn 3, there's Jace now, and yep, there's the red flag.
That actually really annoyed me. I'm so annoyed I got out.
We are back at the starting line here on the Nodeoline. Everyone here will be securing a guaranteed point, with Blazin and Brock being given another chance. Brock especially wanting to prove himself still mired in controversy from the events of Utah. Customize will now have another shot on Paulie into the town section as well. Jace's time will be another day, but we are now underway. Customize with an excellent launch on Paulie once again into turn 1. Even with the inside line, he's made it work. He holds on to P1. Blazin has not been able to move up on Brock. Brock still holds the P3 position, but Paulie has now fallen back as they are beginning to exit the town section. It seems so far that Blazin is slightly faster than Brock, and indeed he is. He seems to be looking for any opening he can through here, even up to the slam. What's this? Customize to a hole. Paulie's hit the wall. Now he's at the ball. Brock stabs into him. They're everywhere. Blazin has somehow managed to get past. In the name of all that's holy, what have we just seen? What the Blazin is utterly shocked. I think we all are. The race has been suspended for investigation as that didn't appear to be a natural incident. Paulie's car has been ripped to shreds. Brock has received a major impact to the front, but they need to find Customize, and I believe they've just found him in the bushes now. There, his car is also ripped to pieces. They need to get the medics out here as soon as possible. The replays are coming to us now. There is strong belief that the whole incident was a spiritual affair based on what's happened in this race so far. And here we see no brake lights from Customize. The impact sends Paulie into the wall. He hits the pole. Brock is right there and strikes his tail end with the impact, launching Paulie into the air and into the trackside vegetation before he settles down on the track again. And here's Customize. As proven by the previous angle, he has done no wrong here. With Paulie slamming his rear like this, he launches forwards at incredible speeds, hits the hill, then hits the top of a tree, spins like a torpedo before landing in the trackside bush, and Blazin goes past the crash site. This is Brock's view. He sees something wrong and instinctually makes a correct call going to the left, but he can't react to Paulie hitting the pole like that, leading to the massive impact which also briefly sent Brock airborne with major damage to the front of his car as he wildly spun out afterwards. Here we have Blazin initially looking for gaps on Brock, who suddenly slows down with the incident ahead. Blazin almost got squeezed into the wall and somehow was able to react in a split second to avoid the absolute carnage that happens right in front of him at over 100 kilometers per hour. We have an external look at the incident here in slow motion. Paulie's front end damage is staggeringly bad. Control of the car is now impossible. Upcoming, the massive slam into the pole. Brock lodges himself into his rear end at roughly 150 kilometers per hour, leaving Paulie's car a mangled wreck as it took flight, and Blazin gets through by the skin of his teeth. Another look, this time in front of the action and even slower speeds. I have never seen such a violent accident of this magnitude ever before. As we see the replay unfold, we have words that the on-site medics are currently tending to the 3 crash drivers. The ambulances are also on the way. The immediate news is that Customized and Polly have lost consciousness. Brock is miraculously still conscious, but in a very heavy state of shock with other bodily injuries. We are being told Polly is in the most worrying condition after multiple high-speed collisions and impacts. No one really knows what to do about the situation. Race Control has now told us that this race will not be resuming tonight, and the continuation will be postponed to a later date after Blazin is allegedly refusing any credit to a win because of the horrifying unnatural causes of the incident, with Customized's car being used as a vessel to carry out evil actions against his will. The postponing of this race will allow the injured drivers to recover and contemplate on what has happened. It will give Race Control ample time to figure out the best way to resume this race, and any measures required for consideration when unnatural events such as this take place. We are finally back at the Nodeoline. Miraculously, all the injured drivers recovered from the crash and have since been eager to get back to racing. The positions are based on the starting positions of lap 20, and even Jace has been allowed to rejoin the race but has to deal with the pit lane start. It's time to go. Massive jump start from Brock and slow from Blaze, and excellent from Customized. Can he get P1 again in the first corner? Here we go. He seems to hold it off pretty well. Brock almost runs into Polly there. Blazing right on the back of Brock into turn 2. Now onto the run in turn 3. Customized on the inside with Polly on the outside, and Brock is all over the place. The cars are so close together right now. This is awesome, and because of Customized's flawed line through turn 3, Polly has a way better run, and he's attempting the overtake on the straight down to the slam, and he's pulled it off back into P1 as they now all come through to the slam, and just look at all those cars going over it. This is incredible stuff. It has all gone wrong here before. Brock runs very wide through the slam, and Blazer comes right up to his rear there as they go over the crest and down to the double bridge. Blazin is adamantly sticking close to his teammate Jace despite starting from the pit lane. Really isn't that far behind at all. They're coming over the crest now, and Blazin breaks too hard into a slide, and he manages to control it beautifully and continues the chase. This is the racing we've all been hoping to see on the Nodeoline. Here comes up 22. Customized is still close behind Polly as they now come into turn 1. It's rough from Customized, and into turn 1. He's briefly onto the curb. Blazin is right on Brock. Brock has gone too fast, and he's missed turn 1. In one moment, he has just given up 3rd place and 4th place to Blazin and Jace. He's immediately got him back around and trying to follow both of them, and he's gone wide into turn 2. He's on someone's driveway and into a pole. This is absolutely terrible news for Brock, now in the danger zone of 0 points, but he seems to have gotten out. He is soldiering on and will most definitely be boxing to fix the severe damage to the front of his car. We now have Polly and Customized coming down to the double bridges. Polly's front lifts from an awkward angle of contact with the bridges. It's rough, and there goes his bumper to a nearby guardrail. This has cost him valuable time, and Customized is now right on his tail. Brock now coming through the slam with significant damage. How does he manage it? It's going wide. He's in the grass. He's hit rocks. And oh my god, he's gone airborne. The contact with the rocks has flipped his car over. That is a definite red flag. And this is the unfortunate end of Brock's race on the Nodeoline.
What's my race over, guys?
Despite the devastating crash, Brock sounds to be alright on the radio. This is disastrous for Brock. It is disastrous for Will Rock, and it is worrying for Blazin. Brock, initially the favourite for Nodeoline with lap records, underperformed in qualifying, never able to exceed past the 3rd position in this race, being affected by car reliability issues like Blazin, and has now finished 5th for the 2nd time in a row in these races, missing out on points yet again, and is the only driver on the grid who has DNF'd every race thus far. He'll have to look ahead and review his lackluster performance if he wants a chance at being competitive moving forwards. With the race restart now in effect by Jason's P4, Blazer P3, Customized P2, and Polly P1, everyone here is a guaranteed point at least. Unfortunately, the cameras have yet again failed us. We are told they'll be up again very soon, but this recurring problem is starting to get embarrassing and it needs to be sorted out.
The camera would not function correctly.
These cameras are disastrous.
The technicians clearly aren't happy, but anyway, can Polly hold off Customize this time? Here we go. But it's Jace that needs to be looked out for. He's had a miraculous start up the inside of Customize into turn 1. Customize is on the inside, Jace on the outside just ahead. But Customize gets through. There's almost contact between Jace and Blazin. That start was otherworldly. It is hard to review if it was a jump start or not with the current cameras, but Blazin will be chasing adamantly, having lost a position as they now go up to the slam on the straight. Blazin pulls out just in time to avoid striking the curb there. He's lost his run on Jace. They go through the slam. It's really rough for Jace, but he holds it together. That was so close. Jace's car clearly now has damage with the door swinging wildly open. We have our cameras back. Blazin continues to hunt down Jace. That pressure is now on him as they head down to the double bridge. It is too fast and rough for Jace, and that is a massive impact into that barrier. We might already yet have another red flag as that clearly dealt massive damage. It's now lap 25, but we're probably about to get that red flag confirmation, and as expected, there it is.
Every time I start pulling away from Customize, bro, I swear to God.
Polly isn't happy, and it isn't a happy night for Jace either. However, this 4th place finish will give him the single point he needs to beat Brock in the standings after this race. As it stands, Brock will be in 5th with 4 points, and Jace a single point ahead in 4th with 5 points. The drivers are making it back to the starting grid now. The remaining races will now have a guaranteed podium position. And oh my lord, there's been a crash between Polly and Customize on the way back to the starting line. Looks like this restart might be delayed a little bit longer as the mechanics will be needing to get to work right away to ensure the continuation of this race. Everything has now been set right for the 4th restart of this race. Blazin will be Will Rock's saving grace tonight, now having a podium position locked in. Customize won't be backing down either. He has an uphill battle to fight in the standings. And away they go. Blazin had the better reaction time of Polly. Customize another brilliant start. He's on the inside of Polly into turn 1. There's contact. Polly on 2 wheels. Blazin alongside Polly but loses out in turn 2. Polly right on the back of Customize. Customize going slow. There's almost contact. Polly up the inside into turn 3. There doesn't seem to be much of a fight from Customize. Polly slips back into P1. Now Blazin is right on the back of Customize. Blazin is currently the closest to Polly in the standings. He'll be wanting to get past Customize ASAP to achieve as many points as possible. How will Customize fare against his on-track rival during the Utah race day? They've all just gone through the slam. Blazin for the first time tonight will be having a chance to fight up in front with those front runners. Here we get a quick slow motion replay of the contact between Polly and Customize at the start. Customize has the braking advantage into turn 1, but he goes wider than Polly was expecting, leading to the contact and unsettles Customize as well, but Blazin reacts in time as to not cause a collision. It seems no damage happened from the incident. It's been about 2 laps of solid racing ever since the restart. The remaining 3 are demonstrating their skill with a lack of incidents since then, and the ongoing chase between Customize and Blazin has been allowing Polly to pull away a little bit. And here they come now in the second half of the track, all speed through, gaining a bit of air, following each other's lines with precision. Blazin has fell behind Customize a little bit, and he's had a touch up with the curb on turn 3. He might be getting a little impatient. There is now just 18 minutes left to go in this race until the end. The podium sitters are now coming through the slam. There's Polly with quite a nice gap. Just behind him we Customize. Blazer's running wide, chasing Customize. He's rolled. He's into a tree at high speeds. That's such a violent impact. He isn't responding to radio calls. It's safe to say that he's unconscious from such a disaster. And that's an immediate red flag. Running wide through a single corner on this track has led to such a catastrophe. And this will be a double DNF finish for Will Rock Racing's debut. And as the medics attend to Blazin, the 2 leaders of this race have not dropped any lower than P2 for the entire time so far, will now be having a one-on-one duel until the finish. We now get the slow motion replay. A tiny application of throttle is what sent the car too wide through the slam. Control becomes impossible now in the ditch. Underside of the car hits the rock, sending it into the roll. The rear of the car strikes on the tree and rapidly propels it around. I've never seen it all go so wrong for someone in such a short amount of time. A quick tap of the accelerator pedal led to this. It is a testament to the danger of this track. It is now time to hopefully wrap up the Nodeoline once and for all. Will Polly be the first to claim a second win in the BIA? Will Customize win his first after losing out at Utah? We'll have to see. And away we go. Customize loses out in the start on Polly. They're now going into turn 1. Polly successfully holding Customize off so far. He blocks off the outside line to Customize, and they're down the straight into turn 3 now. It is now or never for both of these drivers with just 15 minutes left here to go. And there, Customize gets quite close to the curb, but he's pulled out okay.
Are we for real? The clutch fully engaged. Thought it was gonna be over.
Very strong emotion there from Polly. It sounds like his clutch jumped into turn 1 at such a crucial moment. Polly's frustration is understandable. He's been having major issues with his clutch, occasionally getting stuck down under heavy braking all weekend, which limits his car of the ability to use engine braking, which can be make or literally break when it comes to racing. Lap 32 is about to begin. Customize isn't too far behind, and Polly locks up and shifts out too early on the run to turn 1. That didn't sound nice for his engine.
Sorry, bro, I locked up. Bro, I'm getting spam message. Are you sure?
Polly trying to remain calm, but the pressure is starting to get to him. It clearly isn't helped by the fact that his team has been constantly contacting him on the radio while he's trying to concentrate. Lap 33 now begins as Polly heads into turn 1, and it's really deep. That single misstep will give so much time to Customize. Just look at how much faster he was through turn 1.
Nice. I really like this clutch.
Polly is getting frustrated. There's just no way he can afford these reliability issues with a win on the line, with Customize continuing a chase so close to the finish of this race. Customize is not giving up the chase. Both drivers are now spinning down to the infamous double bridge, and it looks rough for Customize. His car is all over the place, and his bumper has come clean off. In the time he gained due to Polly's mistake, he has now lost that time to a mistake of his own.
I think my lights are out.
Well, your fog lights are gone, but your standard high beams are still on. It's down to the double bridge again, and oh my god, Customize's car is as bouncy as a trampoline. You never know with the double bridge, but it's a possibility his suspension has been affected from the previous run through here.
What is my suspension? It literally just bounces, bro. It's like I got stiffer.
It has been quite the dominant race for Polly all throughout. He has been on a flying lap, and with Customize's rough run-ins with the double bridge, a comfortable gap has been built up, and it took 30 laps. But Polly has set the new fastest record of the race, a time faster than all runs in qualifying except his own. There is just 9 minutes left to go now. Here we are now, turn 1 on lap 36, so close to the finish of this race. There goes Polly. Customize should be coming through any moment now. He struck the curb. He's on 2 wheels. That was quite scary.
Without my fog, I just cannot see the curbs.
As it stands, there's little hope in Customize catching Polly, so maybe another second place finish for him. And oh my goodness, he's hit his bumper that was still on the track while exiting the double bridge. He just can't catch a break through this section. Here's Polly coming out of the bridge section. It's been a brilliant drive for him so far, and oh my god, he's hit Customize's bumper, not knowing it had moved since last lap when Customize had hit it further down the track. Good thing that it is now off the track. Customize will be boxing on the beginning of his 38th lap. He knows that the win is likely now out of the picture, and getting that suspension and lighting loss repaired is what he needs to confidently bring the car home to a second place finish yet again.
I'm literally just gonna cruise at this point.
Make no mistake though, it's been a brilliant drive from Customize to face the harsh conditions of the Nodeoline with success, and he is yet again impressed with such a result despite his lack of BeamNG experience. Polly is cruising his way into being the first 2-time race winner of the BIA, and he's gone wide with too much throttle into the curb of turn 1.
Oh my god, how am I fine, bro?
Polly cannot let himself get complacent. He needs to remember a last-minute DNF would still hand the win to Customize. For Polly, it has been a race of tremendous pace. He has set a few 114s in the last few laps alone when no other driver has broken the 115 barrier. And this race has been a testament to the skill of the mechanics at Polygonal Racing, with his car having little to no issues with reliability on such a rough track, which has resulted in chaos for other drivers in this race. All Polly needs to do now is bring it home to the finish. Polly's coming down to the bridge, and another mistake. That strike seemed pretty big, but as usual, Polly's car seems to have come away okay, so he must be relieved about that. But it hasn't. He's suddenly gone off track into a field. He's back on, but it looks like a wheel has come off.
What? What even? What happened?
In the final moments of this race, Polly has faced disaster after pushing his car to the brink. Customize is coming alongside now for a pass into first place. He probably can't believe it. I can't believe it. I don't think anyone could really believe it. We get the slow motion replay here. Polly comes into the double bridge. He gets too close to the second bridge's barrier, resulting in nasty contact to the side. All seems well from here. Polly continues as usual, probably a bit shaken from what just happened, especially after the scary mistake during the first part of the lap as well. But here it all starts to go wrong. His car suddenly stops responding to his steering input, and he's into the field, and his front left wheel begins to wobble out of place. It finally comes loose when Polly comes back onto the track, and from there, Polly begins to slow to a halt by the wayside. Such a sudden disaster was probably not only caused by striking the bridge like that, but a gradual build-up of wear and tear on the car because Polly was pushing so hard lap after lap since the restart on such a brutal track, and scraping the side of the bridge like that was the final block to topple the tower.
My suspension just blew up.
Customize will soon be passing by on what will probably be the final lap of this race into the double bridge now. And whoa, Customize barely escapes becoming another victim to the double bridge. But anyway, there's Polly in disarray, trying to do anything he can to at least get the car to finish, but it's just not happening. It's still a second place finish, but tonight the title of being the first driver to become a two-time winner in the BIA has been taken from him at the last moment. And there we have it. With just a few minutes left, this race has come to a close with all but one DNFing, which makes this the second time after the first being Redwood. Customize will soon be crossing the line into victory. He came in with a brand new sponsor and team, started second and never dropped a place lower. He has been the only person to stand up to Polly during this race. He has overcome numerous difficulties throughout the entirety of his time on the Nodeoline, and despite starting a race late with only a tiny amount of BeamNG experience, Customize will be customizing the odds to be in his favor by taking his first ever victory with a win on the infamous Nodeoline.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. What a race.
And that is it for a wild night of racing on the Nodeoline that became two after reliability issues, unexpectedly good performances, crashes, spooks, unforgettable dueling, and a shift in the odds at the last second. This race traversed 40 laps over 112 kilometers, the largest amount of distance traveled so far in a BIA race. We've had yet another race that has not run through to the very end of the timer, but I got very close with just a single minute left. The race results are Brock in 5th place, a disappointing finish for him and Will Rock Racing. It marks Brock's second 5th place finish in a row since the disqualification over the pitch heat on Utah. Jace finished 4th. Blazer finished 3rd. So far, alongside Customize, has been the only driver to be on the podium all season and was Will Rock's saving grace for the two nights. Polly finished 2nd after pushing the car too hard, leading to a devastating reliability issue in the last moments of the race, and Customize has beaten the odds against him and taken his first place win in his second race of the season under his new PB Tech sponsor. Driver of the day was Customized for sticking through to the end despite the difficulties, allowing him to take his first win so soon after being at a consistent pace all race, and was the only person able to stand toe-to-toe with Polly on the track. Some do believe though that Polly should have won the award for the night for putting in an unforgettable performance of supreme car reliability and pace, but either way, both drivers put in excellent runs throughout the race. As far as the standings go, quite a bit has changed. Brock has not received any points since Redwood, and this now leaves him in last in the championship so far, with Jace just ahead and 4th by a single point. Customize has jumped up from being last to being tied with Blazin, both holding 8 points, and due to Polly still managing a second place finish despite the DNF, continues to lead the championship with 11 points. Join us next time for the 4th race of 12, where we're still on the East Coast, racing just after sunset on Smith Street Circuit. This track is similar to the Nodeoline in being both smooth and bumpy. It's shorter, but even faster on average speeds than the Nodeoline, and tends to be rough on the car as well. Overtaking is going to be difficult on this track since there's not much places to do so, making qualifying and car reliability particularly important for the race. As usual, anything could happen. See you then.